Hey, God bless you guys. I want to share this dream that the Lord has given me. Um, I'm hoping not covering the mic. Anyways, um, it was a pretty long dream. I had a dream with angels, and I remember I had asked the Lord to give me a dream heavily about heaven and whatnot, and instead He gives me a dream about angels. It's cool, whatever. Some of it is kind of personal, so I won't share certain things. And I'm gonna do the dream where I go straight into where I start seeing angels. So I went with one of my cousins. I went with one of my cousins, and we're walking in this. I don't even know. It's like part of it's a field and part of it's. No matter of fact, it's like some big open mall shopping center outside, some type of thing. And so we're walking, and I just happen to look up in the sky, and I see this a swarm of angels just swarming around like kind of like birds that swarm around, and they swarm together, so, and if one turns one way, they all follow. So they're doing like these different patterns, like birds, they swarm. So there gotta be like a couple thousand of them, and they're different sizes, 5 foot, 6 foot, even as small as like about 3 inches, like fairy type things, right? So they're swarming around up there when I looked at it, and I said to my cousin, I was like, hey, look up there, look up there. And there's a whole bunch of people. They heard me screaming. But, anyway, so I told him to look up there. He did, and he was so amazed. He was, oh my gosh, he was yelling. And then I started telling other people it, and they were like, they ran closer to where the swarm was, above them. And then, they finally, there was, I keep, they were like these two huge trees that all these angels just landed on. I think it was two huge trees, and when they landed on there, they were doing something on there. So everyone ran up to these angels, these different size angels. Beautiful, they were so beautiful, man. I never seen angels. I never seen angels before, but except now in this dream. And I've been praying to see them as well. Take the scales off my eyes, Lord, and let it be your will. So anyways, so we ran, everybody, I'm talking about, a couple hundred people ran to these angels. I was one of them, my cousin was one of them, and everyone was just so intrigued to see these angels that, they were just looking at them. And me being the alert type of person that I am, I noticed that they were doing something, so I was just trying to figure out what they were doing and what they were staring at. They started staring at something, these angels, and there was a couple tall ones, and so there was a couple tall ones. So I noticed that the taller ones were looking at something on the branch. So I was fairly close to them, and I noticed what they were looking at. And then when I looked on my branch, the branches I was closest to, there was 3 bumblebees. And so I reached out my hand, I grabbed them, and I put them in my hands. And they were, just crawling on top of each other, buzzing. And then the one angel, he's a crazy looking, sick, nice, beautiful angel, noticed what I did and noticed that I put it in my hands. So he walked over to me, and I reached out to him, and I put it in his hand, and he was just like staring at it, like so amazed by how these bees were. I don't know if these angels were just like a new creation God just made, or they don't have bumblebees in heaven. I don't know. I'm not sure. So they were just so amazed. He was just so amazed by it, and the way he looked. They all had white gowns. This angel had a white gown, but his face was part human and part, I don't know. But from his nose right here, it went up like this side and this side. It went up and it wrapped around like this, and it came back. So everything from then on was feathers. So like the top of his head was like a eagle, feathers, feathers from here, all this, and then it wrapped around like a circle. It like came, it did something, some type of design, and it went into his big, and then it went back into his big wing. So he didn't have hair, he had feathers for a head, and so my sister and my mom ended up coming by, and by that time these angels flew, and they were kept swarming around. And I went over to my mom and sister. I said, "Hey, look, angels, angels! Oh my gosh!" And because they were so amazed to see why everyone was amazed and why everyone was going so crazy. And then what ended up happening was they couldn't see, so I'm running with them to running toward these angels, and they couldn't see. And I noticed that they couldn't see, so I prayed for both of them, and I prayed for God to open their eyes so that they may see angels. And pray for anyone watching, Lord, right now that needs prayer for that. I personally don't see them, but Lord, that you take the scales off their eyes, and so that they can see your glorious things. So, anyways, once I did that, and I finished with that prayer, they were able to see. So they were amazed too. And then my mom went to a group of angels, and then she came back and told me that one of the angels told her something, and she had a conversation, and she told me what it was. That's the part where I'd say it's a little personal. So then these angels were swarming around, and then I seen that the angels were gonna go somewhere, so they started flying away from us where we couldn't run to. And I yelled, take me to one of the angels, and the one that I seen that I described to you came down, picked me up and just launched me in the air, and I was just soaring with him so high. I was like so high in the clouds. It wasn't cloudy. It was a clear day. So I was soaring so high that I could see down a bird's eye view. And then he kind of like was throwing me up and letting me go, and then I would fall down. But I was just so excited that I was up that high, and then he ended up bringing me down back to where I was, and my family members were there waiting for me, and everyone else. And I landed, and they all ran to me. How was it? How was it? Oh, no, no, no. And I started describing it. I started describing how nice it was, and so that's the dream with the angels I had. Alrighty. So peace. God bless. Love you guys.